My name is Greg Bogosian, and I love everything about New England. Each week, I travel the region searching for adventure. And along the way, I visit the places and the people that make New England extraordinary. This is New England like you've never seen it before. This is New England Traveler. In the making of New England Traveler, I obviously spend quite a bit of time on the road, traveling to some cool destinations and having some amazing experiences. This summer, I spent a lot of time on Cape Cod. Of course, being that it's Cape Cod, there is a lot of great food.
We're gonna try the Sriracha Lime Oyster first. Sriracha Lime, that's, ooh, I love that little kick to it.
There's also a ton of history here.
The caboose, I love this.
So you're inside an actual caboose that ran for more than 1 million miles between Boston and Chicago on the New York Central Railroad, and has been completely restored.
But probably the most exciting thing I did so far this summer on the Cape was flying a vintage biplane out of Chatham Municipal Airport.
I gotta say, I've flown single-engine planes before, but this is the most exciting thing I've ever flown.
Now I'm back on Cape Cod to see what more exciting adventure I can find.
Remember when your parents would take you on vacation somewhere in New England and you got to go to that penny candy place and fill up a big paper bag with all the candy you wanted? Well, that's exactly what I'm doing right now at Chatham Penny Candy right here in downtown Chatham. I can't wait to get my hands on some root beer barrels. Let's go. Tell me a little bit about the history and how you got into this business.
Store's been here for over 50 years.
Yeah.
I am the 4th owner.
Wow.
When I was 14, this was one of my summer jobs. Then I went off to college, got a real job. I got a phone call basically 25 years ago saying to have an interest in buying the store, and just shy of 25 years ago, I took over Chatham Penny Candy.
Reminds me of being a little kid, but I'm looking around and a lot of these candies, I'm surprised that you even have. Like, how do you find some of these candies?
Candies are getting more and more difficult. Larger companies have gone out of business. Smaller local companies like Necco went out of business.
Yes.
Their product line got shuttered and divided up. Some products are not available at all anymore.
The New England Confectionery Company was started in 1847 and was the oldest continuously operating candy company in the United States. I had the chance to film at the Necco factory outside Boston in 2014 to learn how they made old-fashioned candies like Necco wafers, Canada Mints, Sky Bars, and Mary Jane's.
Basically what Mary Jane is taffy. We pull it like an old-fashioned taffy pull. We have a series of machines that do that. After that, they're put in a small tray. They go onto a batch roller, and the peanut butter is pumped into the middle of this cone that forms inside this machine. The candy is drawn out and stretched. It is then squared off and goes through final sizing into the cut and wrap machine at 900 pieces a minute.
Necco closed on July 24, 2018. It's now an Amazon facility. And if that isn't depressing enough, check me out from 10 years ago. Wow, who is that guy? Look at the hair. New England Traveler is supposed to be a fun, uplifting TV show. This is just depressing. All right, let's get back to the show.
One of the things that strikes me as I look around is that not only do you have all these amazing nostalgic candies, but the packaging is a little bit smaller than I remember as a kid.
No, it's very true. Certain products have been returned to production. Melody Pops is an example. They're back, but they're slightly smaller in size. Still a great product, but yes, they are not as big as when you had it as a child.
And to be honest, I would rather have it in a smaller size than not have it at all.
The origins of penny candy go way back to 1879 when Woolworths opened its first 5 and dime store in New York. The idea behind the store was that nothing would cost more than 10 cents. Founder Frank Woolworth decided to place a colorful array of candies near the front of the store. Of course, it didn't take long for other retailers to copy this idea, and the penny candy store was born. And if you ever wondered what is considered to be the first penny candy, well, that would be the nostalgic Tootsie Roll, invented in 1896 by candy maker Leo Hirschfield. I've personally never been a fan of Tootsie Rolls. I'll stick to my root beer barrels. Or Lemonheads. Or Red Hots. Or Jawbreakers. Yeah, you get the idea.
I'm gonna make some candy now. Apparently, the dress code on Chatham is very, very casual. Maybe, I don't know about that. I don't know, but you know. Yeah, yeah. Where are you staying? All right, that was a trip down memory lane at Chatham Penny Candy, and the candy bag is safe in the car. Hopefully it doesn't melt. Right now I'm gonna walk right next door to Chatham Breeze and buy my wife a sweatshirt. What do you think about that one? I like that one. I think she'll like it. You know what they say, it's all good on Cape Cod. Let's go, baby. Let's take a walk through downtown Chatham. This place is a beautiful, quintessential New England town. Right on Cape Cod, right on the elbow of the Cape. Awesome.
The town of Chatham, Massachusetts on Cape Cod was first settled in 1664 by English settlers, but Samuel de Champlain was the first European explorer to land here in 1606. The town was incorporated on June 11, 1712 and named after Chatham, Kent, England. So far, I'm really enjoying my time in this picture-perfect seaside town, but it's time to head over to another Cape Cod hotspot for dinner. We are heading to nearby Harwichport.
When you come to the Cape in the summertime, what are you thinking about when it comes to food? Seafood, steamers, scallops, shrimp, lobster, baked, fried, broiled, steamed, it's all here for you. But tonight we're in Harwichport and we're gonna try some sushi at Three Monkeys Sushi. Let's go. I'm here with Tony Galati, one of the owners of Three Monkeys in Harwichport. Tony, thanks for joining me today, man.
Oh, my pleasure.
I love the vibe here, right on the main drag here in Harwichport. Tell me about the history of Three Monkeys.
Well, about 5 years ago, there was a small sushi restaurant in the middle space of the front building. And then there was a Biscotti's place on the right side, and this was a jeweler's space right here. So they were 3 separate stores. We partnered up with the guy in the middle, expanded on that, and then we decided to go into the other 2 spaces. And me and Mike expanded into what today is Three Monkeys, which is the whole main street and 3 different, kind of 3 different venues, 2 bars and a large dining area. And our chef, he pretty much did the whole menu. Works with Mike a little bit. We'll change a few things every year.
What do you recommend for me as a cocktail? Because, you know, I love tiki cocktails. I love drinks like that, like island vibe things.
We have a great Mai Tai.
All right, I'm doing the Mai Tai then.
Okay, yes, the Mai Tai is one of my favorite cocktails, and having sampled them all over the world, from Cape Cod to Beverly, Mass. to Aruba, I do consider myself something of an armchair expert. So let's see what Mike has in store for me.
All right, so the first drink we're making is the Monkey Mai Tai. Start with house-made sour mix, lemon, lime, and we keg all of our cocktails in-house. And we just top with a little bit of ice, Gosling's ginger beer to finish, orange, cherry, umbrella, and call it a day.
I love the whole tropical vibe, and this is called the Monkey Mai Tai. Looks like it's gonna get out smooth. I can't see it not. Let's try it out. Cheers. One of the better Mai Tais I've had, actually. Three Monkeys Mai Tai.
Drink number 1 checks the summertime vibe box. I'm also told Three Monkeys is known for another drink that's a little off the beaten path for me, but I'm going in anyway.
So this cocktail is called the AC Slater. It's our take on an old fashioned. We use Yamazaki whiskey, burnt orange, give it classic stirs, and we finish the cocktail with a Toshi Amarena cherry and a little bit of the syrup over the ice cube. And that's the drink.
I'm about to try the AC Slater, which is a Japanese whiskey cocktail. You know, it's Japanese whiskey, so you can really almost taste the wasabi. Kidding. It's very sweet, vermouthy, cherry. You can really taste that. I love the AC Slater. Good job, Three Monkeys.
Overall, the drinks at Three Monkeys are solid, and it's time to absorb some of that alcohol with some food. I had my heart set on some fresh sushi, but owners Guy and Mike convinced me to try something a little different.
Here at Three Monkeys in Harwichport, I was dying to try some sushi, but I had to try the poke bowl. First of all, there is sushi in the poke bowl, the big eye tuna. Second of all, there is nothing that is bad for you in this dish. Very fresh, very clean. Got some seaweed, tuna. There is so much flavor packed into this poke bowl. It's insane. The poke bowl is where it's at. Cannot go wrong.
Three Monkeys is, in my opinion, a win-win-win. Great food, unique cocktails, and an awesome atmosphere in a great location. I guess that makes it a win-win-win-win.
It's almost like they're too lifelike in this cartoony way. Like, you know, I feel like Who Framed Roger Rabbit is gonna come around the corner or something, you know, and
So let me tell you about one of my favorite experiences while visiting Cape Cod. You may think it was during the hot summer months. Well, it was not. It was during the winter. I had the opportunity to take the Cape Cod Central Railroad to experience their Polar Express train ride to the North Pole. Each year, the Cape Cod Central Railroad presents the Polar Express. And if you want to receive a golden ticket like I did, then you should check it out. That being said, let's cool things off a bit on this warm summer day and experience something indoors.
okay, you know I love learning about history. Today we're in Cape Cod in Chatham, Massachusetts at the Atwood House Museum, about to do just that. Tell me about the history of Chatham and this beautiful old building that we're in, the Atwood House Museum.
In 1606, Samuel de Champlain first landed in Chatham. In mid-1650s, William Nickerson sort of came over from England, and he was the one who sort of founded Chatham in a sense. At the time it was called Monomoyuk, but it eventually became Chatham as we know it now, and eventually was incorporated around 1712. Between 1752 and 1756, he built the Atwood House. This is where the Historical Society eventually was formed, and that was started in 1923, and then they realized they needed more space. And the people who owned this house at the time decided, offered to sell it to the club, and in 1925, this became the Atwood House, part of the Historical Society. We just finished our 100th anniversary of the Historical Society last year, so a lot of rich history, and now we're just focused on the next 100 years.
The original portion of the Atwood House Museum is one of the oldest structures in the town of Chatham. It has remained largely unchanged since the time it was built, providing a unique view into the way of life during the 18th and 19th centuries in New England. Today, 8 spacious galleries house art, artifacts, and decorative arts that portray life on Cape Cod since the 17th century. As much as I love history, I'm just concerning myself right now with the current 21st century.
Obviously, New England is full of incredible history, and Cape Cod is no exception. Cape Cod is an amazing historic place. Chatham is a beautiful historic town, and it's quaint and it's small. It's right on the elbow of the Cape. Tell me a little bit about how this house fits into the overall story of Chatham and the Cape.
It's a good reminder of the history, you know, that was the whole point of a historical society that tells the rich history of Chatham. It was started out as a fishing community, then tourism took over. You had your Chatham Bars Inn, which was a huge hotel at the time, so that was a big part of the Chatham community. The Twin Lights were a big part of Chatham's history. It's one of the big, attractions when everybody comes. They want to see the light, they want to look over in Monomoy Beach and so on.
The Twin Lights were built in 1808. Originally constructed of 2 wooden towers, they were replaced in 1877 with 2 new towers made of cast iron rings. One tower was later moved to Eastham, Massachusetts, and is now known as Nauset Light. The other stands today at the Coast Guard Station and is referred to as Chatham Lighthouse.
I want to take a quick walk around with you, and I want to explore a little bit about these galleries and find out about the history of Chatham and the history of the house. And let's go be wild.
Oh, let's do it. And as we're walking in here now, we're coming into the Rescue of the Pendleton exhibit. This is a big part of Chatham. In February 18th, 1952, 2 oil tankers broke apart that day. This talks about the 4 Coast Guardsmen that rescued the people on the Pendleton. 8 people perished, one of the largest and greatest rescues in Coast Guard history.
The Finest Hours is a 2016 thriller that chronicles the historic 1952 United States Coast Guard rescue of the crew of SS Pendleton after the ship split apart during a nor'easter off the New England coast. I myself have never seen this film, but after visiting the Atwood House and learning the story, it's now on my list.
So this is the mural barn that I was talking about before. These are the paintings of Alice Stalnick.
These are the ones that you were talking about that were, like you said, you either love it or you don't?
Exactly. So a lot of people come in here and they're taken aback. They're not really sure. In fact, a lot of the people, when they first saw the paintings, were taken aback because they didn't expect this very loud, very graphic, almost like a Dick Tracy type of look.
Yeah, Dick Tracy, that's it. That's exact. I couldn't put my finger on it.
This place is very deceiving. It appears small from the outside, but I assure you they managed to pack a whole lot of exhibits into this space. In fact, I didn't even have time to see it all. Oh, and as a footnote, I just booked myself for another trip on the Polar Express, hoping another golden ticket is in my future the next time I'm back on Cape Cod.
Yeah. Steve, I'm Greg. Nice to meet you.
Meet you.
Have you seen my show?
I have not.
You're supposed to say yes.
I would
You're supposed to say
like
yes on camera.
I would like to.
So far, I am absolutely loving Chatham. The restaurants, the shops, the galleries. But one thing that really sticks out to me is this beautiful architecture. This Cape Cod style, cottage feel really makes you feel like you're walking onto a movie set. All right, I was walking down the street and Steve saw us filming and he stopped me and said, hey guys, come on and check out my gallery. So I love art galleries. This looks like an awesome space. Steve, this is great.
Well, thank you. This is all local photography from Cape Cod.
Oh, these are all photos. Wow, this is really, really exciting artwork. I love this. I love these photos. All right, we're gonna take a look around the gallery because I love photo prints like this of nature and the beach and the waves and the sand. Oh, this is awesome. Let's go check it out. Check out this beautiful, beautiful painting. He's gonna have to let me take a couple home. That's talent right there. To be able to capture nature like that, wow. This is fascinating stuff. I love galleries like this. You know, sometimes you walk into an art gallery and you don't get the art. You know, maybe it's abstract, maybe it's something that just doesn't catch your eye and you don't really warm up to it. But I can tell you, as soon as I walked in the door of Expressions Gallery, I was blown away by the beauty of these photos that have been turned into what look like paintings. All right, well, I couldn't buy anything today, but Steve was nice enough to give me some of these cards of my favorite prints that I picked out on the wall in there. It's beautiful. You know, wish list for the future.
For centuries, artists have descended on Cape Cod to capture and interpret the natural beauty of its landscape. From its beaches to its lighthouses, Cape Cod's natural beauty continues to inspire countless painters and other artists like photographer Stephen Koppel. And while I mull over my wish list of Steve's art, it's time to start thinking about dinner.
All right, so here's what's gonna happen right now. We're at Novelist on the Cape. I have no idea what to expect. I haven't looked at the menu, haven't checked out the website, nothing. I am going in completely clean. I don't even wanna know what to expect. I don't know what to expect. You gonna join me? Let's go. I'm with Sam O'Connor, one of the owners of Novelist Bar and Grill here in Orleans, Mass, right on the Cape. Sam, thanks for having me and my crew here tonight at Novelist.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you coming by.
How long have you guys been in business? How long have you owned Novelist?
So this is actually month 3. So we're just getting underway right now. Just wanted to come out here and start something new and completely change the vibe here.
So Sam, what do you recommend that I try tonight?
I think you should go for a nice lobster ravioli, but start off with some calamari maybe to start.
Tonight at Novelist, my appetizer is the fried calamari. That's it. There's no fancy name. Let's try it out. The fried calamari here is very light. I'm digging that with a little jalapeno, a little red pepper. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
So far, I'm digging the vibe at Novelist, and in case you were wondering what the heck a novelist is, well, it is the backwards spelling of co-owner Sean Sullivan's last name. I'm actually jealous. I can't even pronounce Bogosian backwards. Time for a cocktail.
The Fleur de Lis. Now I'm gonna read you right off the menu what is in it, okay? Here we go. Mi Campo Blanco Tequila, cucumber, lime, agave, orange bitters, soda water, and mint. All right, I love soda water, I love mint. Okay, I'll tell you this. It's a good drink. Tequila is very smooth. Definitely a high-end tequila. All right, cheers, Fleur de Lis.
So we're doing like a modern American theme, sort of a pop flair, fusion of cuisines, right? Incorporating some of the local ingredients. and adding a sense of worldly flavors, right?
Okay.
You know, like paella is not a normal thing here, but we're using local ingredients to create one, right? We keep it, delicious. We try to have bold flavors and things that have a very a sense of umami.
Chef Julio mentioned the word umami, which is one of the 5 basic tastes, including sweet, sour, salty, and bitter. Believe it or not, umami sensors on the tongue were just discovered by scientists in 2002. It is a Japanese word meaning delicious savory taste and is found in foods like tomatoes, mushrooms, and steak. It's also found in the main ingredient of my next dish, lobster.
I was told by many people to try the lobster ravioli. Haven't had lobster since I've been on the Cape, and it's one of those dishes that I really absolutely love. So let's just dig in. I love the breadcrumbs on top and the big lobster chunks on top. You can't go wrong with that. That's beautiful. That is a home run. Lobster ravioli.
Well, I have really enjoyed the sweet life on Cape Cod this summer. From satisfying my sweet tooth at Chatham Penny Candy to exploring the historic Atwood House Museum, and of course, eating some great food. Which makes me realize, of all the places I have traveled, there is truly nothing like a summertime getaway on Cape Cod.